सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji, is trying to build a beautiful topic explaining the effect of prārabdha karma. So, discussing about karma nāśaḥ for Jivan Mukta, how there is no presence of any kind of karma phala for a Jivan Mukta. While explaining that, first thing he did is to show that, you see, sanchita karma is destroyed, agami karma is destroyed. Prārabdha, since it has begun, since it is already in motion, it will continue to remain in motion till the time it gets exhausted. Logically, he put forth first point. Then he said, you see, but for Brahmavid Varishtha, but that highest level of Jivan Mukta, Sapta Bhumika, there is no prārabdha for him. Because he never comes out of Samadhi. So there is no prārabdha for that Brahmavid Varishtha. Then he told next point, actually speaking, even for other levels of Jivan Muktas, even for them there is no prārabdha. Why? Because prārabdha is only for upadhis. And this Jivan Mukta, since is not identified with the upadhis, doesn't have prārabdha. Okay? So that is the topic that we were seeing in the last session also. How that Jivan Mukta remains unattached from the upadhis and therefore has no effect of prārabdha on that Jivan Mukta. Okay? Up to here, followed all the steps. Now Shankaracharya says, you know what? Let me tell you one thing. What? There is no prārabdha. Huh? Yes, there is no prārabdha for anyone. Hey, what is this now? What is this? No, that is what the next topic he explains. Let us see. Verse number 461. Prārabdhaṃ sidhyati tadā yadā dehātmanā sthitiḥ dehātmabhāvo naiveṣṭaḥ prārabdhaṃ tyajyatāmataḥ prārabdhaṃ sidhyati tadā yadā dehātmanā sthitiḥ dehātmabhāvo naiveṣṭaḥ prārabdhaṃ tyajyatāmataḥ. Now he is summarizing so far whatever we have seen. What is he saying? Yada, when, dehātmanā sthitiḥ. When means as long as one remains identified with body. Dehātmanā sthitiḥ. As long as one is identified with the body, tadā prārabdhaṃ sidhyati. So long, till then, there is prārabdha. This is a conclusion of all the topics that he has explained so far in this section. What is he saying? See, prārabdha is for the upadhis, for the bodies. Now, if you identify with the upadhis, then you will have prārabdha. If you don't identify with the upadhis, you will have no prārabdha. So, as long as one is identified with the upadhis, with the body, so long there is prārabdha for that person. Yada dehātmanā sthitiḥ tadā prārabdhaṃ sidhyati. Now, since you have understood this, therefore what you should do? Dehātmabhāvah naiveṣṭaḥ. And therefore what I am trying to tell from the first verse onwards, that this identification with the body is not a good thing, is never desirable. Naiveṣṭaḥ. Ishtaha means that which you like, which you desire. Naiva is never something that you should try to have. What? That dehātmabhāvah. Naiveṣṭaḥ. So you should never try to have this identification with body. Ataḥ. And once you do that, then what? Prārabdhaṃ tyajyatāṃ. Ataḥ prārabdhaṃ tyajyatāṃ. And by renouncing the identification with the body, you also give up the prārabdha. So actually speaking, when we realize the Supreme Self, Supreme Brahman as our own self, when that tattvajnana happens, when the vasanas etc. also gone, then all the problems of the mind are gone, everything is gone. And then what remains? When you realize, when we experience that Brahman, then what happens? Just as the attachment and identification with the BMI goes away, even prārabdha goes away. Now this verse is actually like a instruction now. You see, dehātmabhāvah naiveṣṭaḥ prārabdhaṃ tyajyatāṃ. Therefore you give up. Why? As a conclusion of all the points that have been told, now he is giving instruction, give up the identification with the body so that you will have no prārabdha. Is that fine? Yes. Shankaracharya, that is okay. Now what? Now he goes one step further. And what does he say? Let us see. Verse number 462. śarīrasyāpi prārabdhakalpanā bhrāntireva adhyastasya kutaḥ sattvamasatyasya asatyasya kuto janiḥ ajātasya kuto nāśaḥ prārabdhaṃ asataḥ kutaḥ śarīrasyāpi prārabdhakalpanā bhrāntireva adhyastasya kutaḥ sattvam asatyasya kuto janiḥ ajātasya kuto nāśaḥ prārabdhaṃ asataḥ kutaḥ. He says, now let me explain what this prārabdha is also not real. What is he saying? śarīrasyāpi, even for the body, prārabdhakalpanā, the idea of prārabdha, bhrāntireva. is indeed an illusion alone. What do you mean? Prārabdha is not real? No. But how can you say prārabdha is not real? You have been discussing that is what I don't like about Vedanta. You see, you start some topic, you explain the whole topic, and after explaining the whole topic, you say that is not there. Are? Yes, you can say that is not there only after you have explained whatever is there. But how can you say that prārabdha is not there? See, adhyastasya sattvam kutaḥ. Let me explain. That which is superimposed, adhyasta. Sattvam kutaḥ. Where is the reality existence of something that is superimposed? The snake that we see misunderstandingly on the rope, what is the existence of that snake? There is no existence of that snake. So, adhyastasya sattvam kutaḥ. Sattvam kutaḥ means where is the existence of superimposed? Means there is no, see, this question is to say it is not. Isn't it? Sattvam kutaḥ means, no, don't go and finding where is sattvam. No. There is no sattva, there is no existence for something that is superimposed. Point number one. Asatyasya jani kutaḥ. Now, something that does not have existence cannot have birth. There is no real birth. In some pathas, you will also see asatvasya kuto janiḥ. Same meaning. Asatyasya, asatvasya. Same meaning. Right? So, adhyastasya kutaḥ sattvam. Asatyasya or asatvasya kuto janiḥ. Something that is not there cannot be born. Ajātasya nāśaḥ kutaḥ. Something that is not born is not dead, cannot perish. Why? See, it did not exist. It is not born. How can you say it got perished now? So, prārabdha, when we say prārabdha gets destroyed, for prārabdha to get destroyed, it should be born. Or it should exist. Prārabdha does not exist. Asatah prārabdhaṃ kutaḥ. How can there be prārabdha for something that is asat? So, what is the point that he is trying to explain? So far we understood that prārabdha is there only for the body, mind, intellect and not for the Jivan Mukta, not for Brahman. Isn't it? That is clear, understood also. Now what he is trying to say? He is trying to say, when we are saying that there is prārabdha for body, mind, intellect, but that body, mind, intellect itself is unreal. If body, mind, intellect is unreal, how can prārabdha be real? Veji? Not clear. Okay. Let us take the same example of rope and snake. Okay. So, there is rope. We are seeing it as snake. All of us are seeing it as snake. And then we are discussing how this snake is born. Till when will it continue? What is the birth date and death date of that snake? Which is dependent on the snake's prārabdha. Isn't it? Every jiva is born according to prārabdha. Every jiva lives according to prārabdha, dies according to prārabdha. But snake which is not there at all. In the level of vyavaharika sattva, there is prārabdha for body, mind, intellect. But on that paramarthika level, body, mind, intellect itself is not there. Where is the concept of prārabdha? Are you getting what Shankaracharya is trying to explain here? Don't say there is no prārabdha for us also. If we are on the level of vyavaharika sattva, there is prārabdha for us. As long as we remain on that level, there is prārabdha for us. Right? But the moment we go beyond it, the moment we go to the paramarthika sattva, then what? Then there is no prārabdha. So, prārabdha is also a concept in the purview of vyavaharika sattva, in the context of vyavaharika sattva alone. Don't think that this prārabdha is a ultimate concept. Why? Because ultimately there is only one reality, that is Brahman. There is nothing else. So, even prārabdha is a unreal concept. Just as body, mind, intellect. No, Vegji, but body, mind, intellect are real. Then prārabdha is also real. So you can say prārabdha is as real as upadhis or as unreal as upadhis. However you want to put, you can put it. If we think that the body, mind, intellect is real, then prārabdha is real. If we think that body, mind, intellect is not real, prārabdha is also not real. That is the topic. Are you getting the point? So, prārabdhaṃ asataḥ kutaḥ. There is no prārabdha for something that does not exist. For unreal thing, there is no prārabdha. Now, the question will be, Vejji, if all this is like this, why Shruti, why Vedas are explaining this concept of prārabdha? If it is not there, just leave it. See, the purpose of explaining prārabdha is explained in the next verse. Why? And the answer is same. Why does Shruti describe creation theory? Why does Shruti describe Panchakosha and Sharīratraya, Avasthatraya, etc.? The same purpose is there in this also for Shruti. What is it? Let us see. Verse number 463. Jñānenājñānakāryasya samūlasya layo yadi tiṣṭhatyayaṃ kathaṃ deha iti shankāvato jadan. Next verse also continuation. Samadhātum bāhyadrishtya prārabdhaṃ vadati śrutiḥ natu dehādi satyatva bodhanāya vipaṣṭitāṃ yata śruterabhiprāyah paramārthaikagocarah jñānenājñānakāryasya samūlasya layo yadi tiṣṭhatyayaṃ kathaṃ deha iti shankāvato jadan samadhātum bāhyadrishtya prārabdhaṃ vadati śrutiḥ natu dehādi satyatva bodhanāya vipaṣṭitāṃ yata śruterabhiprāyah paramārthaikagocarah. Beautiful. What is he saying? Jnānena ajñānakaryasya samūlasya yadi layah. If, yadi, if, jnānena, by self-knowledge. Now here we are talking about jnānena means by that experiential knowledge. If by self-knowledge, samūlasya ajñānakaryasya layah bhavati. If there is layah, dissolution. Samūlasya ajñānakaryasya. Ajñāna, ignorance. Ajñānakarya, effect of ignorance. What is this effect of ignorance? Avidya, result is what? Kama, karma, etc. Or we can say bahya prapancha, the world, and antah prapancha, ahankara, upadhi, etc. This is called as ajñāna karya, result of ignorance. Samūlasya, along with their mula, root, which is ajñāna. So, if we are saying that by knowledge, K capital, ignorance and its effects get destroyed, then kathaṃ ayam deha tiṣṭhati. Then how does this body exist? Iti jadan shankāvatah. For the dull people who have this doubt, iti shankavatah basically. Shankavatah, for those people who have this doubt, jadan, for such dull people, samadhatum. See the word in the next verse. Samadhatum, in order to resolve these doubts of these people, bahya drishtya, from the perspective of the outer world, prārabdhaṃ vadati śrutiḥ. The Shruti speaks of prārabdha. What is he saying? Some concepts are explained to satisfy our doubts, so that we can proceed further and reach the essential point. You understand the whole thing, okay? One very bad example is coming to my mind, but it's okay. They say there was one UN conference, United Nations conference, which was going on, and an Indian ambassador was to speak on the issue of India-Pakistan, that war, and always the borderline is being threatened, etc., etc. So he started with a story. He said, long ago, many thousands of years ago, in Kashmir, Rishi Kashyapa was taking bath in the river, in the Saraswati river, and while entering into the water, he removed some clothes and he entered into the water. And that time what happened? These Pakistanis came and took away his clothes. Now Pakistani ambassador became angry and he said, wait, one second. Objection, my lord. What? At that time, when Rishi Kashyapa was taking bath in Kashmir, Pakistan was not even there. He said, thank you. Now that it is established that there was a time when Pakistan was not there, let me come to point. I don't know whether this story is true or not, okay? But it is an interesting story and it is useful for us to explain. There are many people who have doubts on many things. Now, unless those doubts are satisfied, they will not come to essential topic. And that is why Shruti deals with all these doubts. Those are not the essential topics of the Veda, of the Shruti. In the coming verses, Shankaracharya will explain what is the essential point of the Shruti. It is to explain about that Brahman. But there are so many doubts. Now here, what is the doubt that people have? The doubt that people have is, okay, you have established, the Veda Upanishad has established that ignorance is the main cause. The entire samsara or the upadhis or the ahankara, everything, jiva bhava, everything has come from that ignorance. Okay. You have also said that since ignorance is the main problem, knowledge is the solution. And when by knowledge that ignorance is removed and the effects of ignorance are also removed, one realizes. Now the question comes, if the knowledge has destroyed ignorance and all its effects, for such a jnani, how is the body still surviving? Technical doubt. See, Shankaracharya here is saying that those dull people who have these doubts. Okay. Now, matter of fact is, we are so dull that we don't even get this doubt. Forget about the essential doubt. We are not even thought about this much. We studied Tattvabodha, isn't it? In Tattvabodha, what is said? That this sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira, etc. is explained. Karana sharira is ignorance. And it is called karana sharira because it is the cause for other two bodies. Correct or no? Explained. So, karana sharira causes subtle body and gross body. Correct. Later on, he says that the self-knowledge destroys ignorance. So, karana sharira is gone. Now, when karana sharira is gone, how can subtle body, sukshma sharira and gross body, sthula sharira continue to be there? Some of you got this doubt. For you, the concept of prārabdha is explained. Some of us have not got that doubt. Study further, get the doubt, then the answer will be given by the Upanishad that this is because of prārabdha. So concept of prārabdha is to explain what? Something that is already in motion, though the force is removed. But since it is in motion, it will only stop after completing the action, after exhausting. Are you getting why Upanishad? We saw the example of fan. Shankaracharya gave example of that arrow which is shot towards that animal. Something that has already started, even though its root is removed, but because it is already started, it will stop, it will end only after exhaustion. For whom is this explanation given? For those people who get that doubt. What? If the ignorance and all its effects are destroyed by self-knowledge, then how is the body still surviving? Answer is prārabdha. So, kathaṃ ayam deha tiṣṭhati iti shankāvatah jadan samādhātum. In order to resolve the doubts, bahya drishtya, from the outer relative standpoint, Shruti prārabdhaṃ vadati. Shruti speaks of prārabdha. Natu dehādi satyatva bodhanāya vipashyitāṃ. Please don't think that not for vipashyitāṃ, for the wise. Dehādi satyatva bodhanāya, in order to establish the reality of the body. That is not the reason why prārabdha is spoken. Don't take it other way around. Since Shruti speaks of prārabdha, therefore prārabdha is there for the body, therefore body is real. Don't come to such wrong conclusions. Shruti says prārabdha is there not from the ultimate standpoint. It is also from the relative standpoint alone. So it is explained, the concept of prārabdha is explained for those who have doubts. Doubts as to how the body survives even after the self-knowledge, even after that experience. As we have seen earlier also, many people who follow Vedanta, great scholars of Vedanta also, they do not believe in Jivan Mukti. Not many, let me say few people. Within Vedanta, they remain in Advaita Vedanta perspective only, but they don't believe in Jivan Mukti. This is another reason why Jivan Mukti concept is true. Why? Otherwise, why will Shruti explain about prārabdha? The entire concept of prārabdha for a Jivan Mukta, for a jnani, is to say that knowledge has happened. That person is Jivan Mukta, but the body is still surviving in the Vyavaharika level. Okay. Two examples we had seen. One is of rope and snake, another is of mirage. Remember the difference. In the case of rope and snake, the moment we see the rope, the snake vanishes. You can't see the snake itself. But in case of mirage, you will continue to see water, but you will know that it is not water. It is sand. Jivan Mukta is like the second example. Probably he will continue to perceive the world, but not as the world, as Brahman. This is a very important point. There are many reasons why Jivan Mukti is a logical conclusion of Advaita Vedanta. Otherwise, Shrotriya Brahmanishta person only we will not get. Guru is supposed to be Brahmanishta, no? If Jivan Mukti is not possible, if ultimate realization is only possible after the fall of the body, then we will never have a Guru who is Brahmanishta. So, those who believe in the concept of Jivan Mukti, there are ample instances from Upanishads, from Bhagavad Gita, etc. that we can find. But here another instance is there that the explanation of prārabdha is to show how knowledge has happened, experience has happened, ignorance is destroyed, samsara is destroyed, but the body continues to survive, continues to work in the world. Having said this, what does he say? Natu vipashyitāṃ. So the prārabdha concept is for those people to resolve these doubts, not for the wise. Not to explain, na tu dehādi satyatva bodhanaya, not to say that the dehādi, the body, etc., the upadhis are real. Not to say that. Yataha, because shrutehe abhiprāyah, the purpose of the shruti, paramarthaika gocharaha, is a single purpose. Eka. What? Paramartha is to point out the supreme reality alone. That is the main job of shruti. So the main theme of the Upanishads, of the entire Vedas, is to point out that there is only one reality. All other explanations, all other topics which are taken are to resolve the doubts so that the students can come to this one central understanding. That is the point. Okay. Now, how is this main topic of the Shruti, the single truth, T capital, which is spoken of in the Shruti? Now, that is explained in next 7 verses, 465 to 471. Okay, where he again says this is the main topic of the Shruti. And this is what the Jivan Mukta is realizing, because of which he doesn't have any prārabdha. That is the topic that he takes. Let us see. These are some of the verses that are very simple. Now we have seen it so many times. Let us see. Verse number 465. Paripurnamanaadyantam aprameyamakriyaṃ ekamevadvayam brahma neha nasti kinchana paripurnamanaadyantam aprameyamakriyaṃ ekamevadvayam brahma neha nasti kinchana. In all these verses up to 471, the second line is going to be same. Ekameva advayam brahma na iha nasti kinchana. Now you understand this much Sanskrit. Ekam, one. Eva, alone. Advayam, non-dual. Brahma. Brahman is one without a second. Iha, here, in this Brahman, nana kinchana nasti. Nana means many. Multitude, plurality, duality. Kinchana, even a wee bit, na asti, is not there. What is he trying to say? He is trying to say that the Brahman is the only reality. Everything other than that is not there. There is nothing second. That's why many times ekam eva advitiyam or ekam eva advayam is said. Why? Because if it is said ekam, that ekam can be understood as it is one. It can also be understood as it is first. It is first means what? There is something which is second. No. There is nothing which is second. Therefore, it is said ekameva advayam. It is one without any second. So, it is not one in many. It is the one without any. That is the point. Ekameva advayam brahma na iha nasti kinchana. There is absolutely no duality, and therefore body is not real, upadhis are not real, even prārabdha is not real. It is not real. There is only one reality, and that is Brahman. And this Brahman is explained in the first line of every verse. Paripurnam. Pari, from all sides. Purnam, complete. Completely full or fully complete. That is the meaning of paripurnam. Anadyantam, na adi, na antam. It has no beginning and has no end. Anadi, antam. Anadi, antam, one word, okay? Don't say anadi, antam. Means it has no beginning but has end. No. Na adi na antam. Anadyantam. Neither any beginning nor any end. Aprameyam, that which never becomes prameya. Prameya means the object of knowledge. Unknowable. Why? Because to know it as object, something else is required as subject. That concept is not there because there is no two things. There is only one. Aprameyam. Avikriyam. Vikriya nasti. There is no modification. There is no action for this. Brahman. Such ekameva advayam Brahma na iha nanasti kinchana. There is absolutely no plurality, no duality, not even a wee bit. Okay. Now you see, Paripurnam says that there is no desha parichheda. So this is called Shastric way of understanding a verse. Word meaning clear, Paripurna. Pari, completely. Purna, infinite, full, big, complete. Anadyantam says that there is no Kala parichheda. What is this desha parichheda, kala parichheda? Limitation according to space. Desha parichheda. Limitation according to time. Kala parichheda. Both these are not there for Brahman. It is not limited by space because it is paripurna. It is not limited by time. Anadyantam. Ekameva advayam. It is not limited by object also. No vastu parichheda. Only these three parichhedas are there, isn't it? Desha, Kala, Vastu. Limitations are only according to the space, time or object. All these three kinds of limitations are not there for Brahman. Means what? Brahman is truly infinite. Infinite in all sense. Infinite in all sense. That Brahman alone is real. There is absolutely no plurality, no duality. There is nothing other than Brahman, even a wee bit. Okay, continues further. Let us see. Verse 466. Sadghanam chidghanam nityam.
Sadghanam chidghanam nityam.
Anandaghanamakriyam.
Anandaghanamakriyam.
Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Neha nanasti kinchana.
Neha nanasti kinchana.
Sadghanam chidghanam nityam anandaghanamakriyam ekamevadvayam Brahma neha nanasti kinchana. Ghana word is coming again and again. Ghana means a block or mass. Sadghanam, mass of existence or block of existence, means what? Existence alone. Chidghanam, mass of consciousness. Nityam, eternal. Anandaghanam, mass of bliss, block of bliss. Akriyam, without any action, devoid of any activity. Ekamevadvayam Brahma, that one without a second, that is Brahman. Na iha nanasti kinchana. And here in Brahman, na kinchana nanasti, there is absolutely no duality, not even a wee bit. So you see Sat, Chit, Ananda, all three are explained here. Nityam, eternal. Avikriyam or akriyam, no activity. Kriya is not there. Why? For Kriya something else has to be there, nothing else is there. The single mass of existence, single mass of consciousness, single mass of bliss. But while he is saying, you said three things. It is same thing explained through three different concepts. Right? Sat is Chit. Chit is Ananda. We have seen this point earlier. It is not Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is Chit. Chit is Ananda. So you call it existence, fine. You call it consciousness, fine. You call it bliss, fine. But it is just that. There is nothing other than that in that. That Brahman I am. And there is nothing other than that. So since there is nothing other than that, there is no body, there is no mind, there is no intellect. Since there is no body, mind, intellect, there is no and absolutely no concept of prārabdha. Sanchita agami also is not there, prārabdha is also not there, world is not there, nothing is there other than that Brahman. Na iha na nasti kinchana. Continues further. Verse 467. Pratyage kara sampurnam anantam sarvato mukham ekame brahma neha nānasti kinchana. Pratyage kara sampurnam anantam sarvato mukham ekame brahma neha nānasti kinchana. Pratyaka, it is inner. Ekarasam, homogeneous. Ekarasam, homogeneous. Purnam, full, complete, infinite. Anantam, infinite. Sarvato mukham, one who has got its face on all sides, means what? All pervasive. What is this all pervasive? Whatever we see, Brahman alone is there. Whatever we touch, Brahman alone we are touching. Whatever we are hearing Brahman alone. There is nothing other than that. We may not see something as Brahman. We may not hear something as Brahman. We may not touch something as Brahman. But the fact of the matter is, it is Brahman alone. Who is experiencing? Brahman alone. So how is that person able to experience? There is no experiencing that is happening. Why? Because all other experiences are on the level of senses or the mind, which are not there. Brahman alone is. Pratyak, ekarasam, purnam, anantam, sarvato mukham. See, all these verses can also be taken for meditation or for reflection also. You are walking and thinking. Take any one word and start thinking about it. Anantam. What do you mean by anantam? Na anta. There is no end. End means what? What is end? So, in the space context, what is end? In the time context, what is end? And when it is said anantam, what does it mean? Start thinking. Veji, will we be able to think? Yes. Yes. Will we be able to come to conclusion? No. Why? Because all these words are taking us beyond mind. So mind cannot completely think about all this. Correct? But we can think. Why? Because then we will be pushed towards that point where the mind drops. Pratyak. Inner. You take any word. I'm just giving you a few examples. Pratyak. Inner means what? Whatever we are talking about, inside it. So suppose let us say body. Inside the body, what is there? So biologically you start going inside. Then spiritually you start going inside. Why? Because after that then subtle things will come, then the mind, the thought will come, then the intellect will come, then the ajnana will come. You start keep going inner. Pratyaka. Ekarasam, homogeneous. Homogeneous means what? You cannot have distinction in it. Ekarasam means that which has become one. Homogeneous. Ekarasam. So distinctions are not there. Start thinking on any topic, any point, any pointer, and we will reach that same reality. Pratyaka, ekarasam, purnam, etc. Okay. So that is how it is explained. Ekamevadvayam Brahma. That is Brahman, which is one without a second. Na iha nānasti kinchana. And here in this Brahman, there is absolutely no plurality, no duality. Continues. Verse 468. Aheyam anupadeyam anadeyam anashrayam ekamevadvayam Brahma neha nānasti kinchana. Aheyam anupadeyam anādeyam ekamevadvayam brahma neha nasti kinchana. Beautiful. He says, aheyam. Heya. Heya vastu means, heya means something that can be given up. Ha dhatu. Heyam. Heyam means that which can be given up. Aheyam. That which cannot be given up. Which cannot be rejected. Na adeyam. That is anupadeyam. See the next word. Upadeya. Na upadeyam. Upadeya means that which can be taken up. Anupadeyam means that which cannot be taken up. Aheyam, anupadeyam. This Brahman is that which cannot be given up, cannot be taken up. Veggie, not clear. See, I can give up an object. Correct? I don't want this. Some food item comes, I don't want. I can give up. I can give up my body and take up new body. I can give up my mind. Stop attaching with the mind. Stop identifying with the mind. I can give up ignorance by gaining knowledge. But self is something which I cannot give up. Why? Because it is the one who is giving up everything. Aheyam. Anupadeyam. I cannot take it up. Why? Because it is me. I can take up something which is not me. I can give up something which is not me. It is me. So I can neither give up nor can I take it up. Aheyam anupadeyam. In Kenopanishad, I think, Shankar Bhashya, I don't remember exactly now, but I think that is where Bhagavan Bhashyakara brings these topics of aheyam anupadeyam while explaining the shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manoyat, vachoha vacham, etc. When he is explaining, he says it is this reality which cannot be given up, which cannot be taken up. Aheyam anupadeyam. Nor can I give up, nor can I take it up. Anadeyam. Adeyam. Adeyam means to place something. It cannot be, now two ways of looking at this. Anadeyam, na adeyam, it cannot be placed. And next word you see, anashrayam. Anashrayam means what? Which is not ashraya. So, what does it mean? Brahman is not placed on something. Means what? There is no support for Brahman. And there is nothing else which has Brahman as its support. Anadeyam, anashrayam. What is he saying here? In everything of the world, there is a adhyastasya sambandha. There is a connection of support. Example, watch, I have placed it on the table. Okay, the table is placed on the floor. The floor is placed on the ground. The ground is like that. There is a relationship between the support and what is placed on that support. Physically also, subtly also. Karana sharira is the support. Subtle body is placed on it. Subtle body is the support. Gross body is placed on it. Gross body is the support. Objects are placed on it. So there is a clear-cut connection, relationship between something that is supporting and something that is using that as support. The object. Now here Shankaracharya says, Brahman is neither the object which is taking support of something, nor the object which is supporting something else. Anadeyam, it is not placed on anything. Anashrayam, it is not support of anything. But Vedji, didn't you say that Brahman is support for everything? Yes, but that everything is not there. Whatever was explained as adhyastasya, superimposed, is not there. It is like saying, whatever we see as snake is supported by rope. Correct. At that level, that statement is correct. But the fact of the matter is there is no snake. So then rope is now support for what? For nothing. There is nothing which is supported by Brahman. Why? Because Brahman alone is, there is nothing other than Brahman. So Brahman is not having any support, nor is Brahman support of anything. Anādeyam anashrayam. See what kind of things we were thinking about. Why India is so great? Why Bharat is so great? This is the reason why Bharat is so great. We don't just talk about normal simple things, how to live and how to do this, etc. That is okay. See what kind of philosophy we are discussing. Aheyam, that which cannot be rejected, cannot be given up. Anupadeyam, that which cannot be taken up, accepted. Anādeyam, that which cannot be placed. Anashrayam, that which cannot be a support. Ekameva dvayam Brahma. Why? Because this Brahman alone is the only reality, one without second. Na iha nānaśṭi kinchana. There is absolutely no duality here in this Brahman. Right? Continues. Let us see. Verse number 469. Nirgunam nishkalam sukshmam.
Nirgunam nishkalam sukshmam.
Nirvikalpam niranjanam.
Nirvikalpam niranjanam.
Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Neha nānaśṭi kinchana.
Neha nāsti kinchana.
Nirgunam nishkalam sukshmam. Nirvikalpam niranjanam. Ekamevadvayam Brahma. Neha nānaśṭi kinchana. Nirgunam, without any guna, without any quality. Nishkalam, without any kala, any parts. Sukshmam, subtle. Subtle means without anything that can be perceived. It is not something that can be perceived, not gross. Nirvikalpam, without any thought. Niranjanam, without any taint. Anjana means black spot, taint. Without anything. Ekamevatvayam Brahma. That Brahman is one without a second. Na iha nānaśṭi kinchana. There is no duality. Now what is he saying here? You see, sukshmam. By saying sukshmam, he says that it is beyond the senses, beyond the body and senses. Nirvikalpam, without any thought, means beyond mind. Niranjanam, without beyond avidya, beyond karana sharira also. Anjana is generally the ajnana. Avidya is called as anjana, the darkness, no, the black spot. It is niranjanam. It is beyond that also. So it is nirgunam, nishkalam, sukshmam, nirvikalpam, niranjanam. That Brahman is beyond the body, senses, mind and ignorance. It is beyond everything, without any qualities, without any parts, without anything. That is how this Brahman is. There is no duality whatsoever. Next verse, 470. Anirupya swarupam yat.
Anirupya swarupam yat.
Mano vācāmagocaram. Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Ekamevadvayam Brahma.
Neha nānaśṭi kinchana.
Neha nānaśṭi kinchana.
Anirupya swarupam yat. Mano vācāmagocaram. Ekamevadvayam Brahma. Neha nānaśṭi kinchana. Beautiful phrase again. Anirupya swarupam. Its nature, swarupa, is anirupya, something that cannot be explained, described. Nirupana means to describe. Nirupya means that which can be described. Anirupya, which cannot be described. It is of nature that cannot be described. Its nature cannot be described. What do you mean? Why it cannot be described? Manovacham agocharam. Because it is agochara, not reached by manas, mind, or vacha, speech. Any description is done through mind and speech. Isn't it? You formulate the description in the mind and then express it through speech. What is happening about this Brahman? Neither can mind reach there, nor can speech reach there, and therefore it cannot be described. Yan manasana manute. Reaching where the mind and speech returns without capturing it. What is the mantra? Remember, something like this we studied in Upanishad. It went, and then it could not reach, and then it came back. What is this? After so many verses also still struggling. What is this? What is this? What is this? Go find Kenopanishad, only it is there. Yato vacho nivartante. Viji, correct. Philip starters required for the tube lights. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Yataha, from where? Vachaha, speech, nivartante, returns. Manasasaha, along with the mind, aprapya, without gaining it. Means what? That which cannot be reached by mind and speech. Means that which cannot be described, because description is possible only through mind and speech. It cannot be described. Anirupya swarupam yat, that which has nature which cannot be described. Why? Manovacham agocharam, because it is not reached by mind and senses. Ekameva advayam brahma. And that is why it is one without a second. Why? Because mind doesn't reach there. If mind reaches there, then there will be second thing there. Brahman and mind. But mind doesn't reach. Speech doesn't reach. So there is one without a second. That Brahman alone is. Anirupya swarupam yat. That is what it is. Last verse of the series. Verse number 471. Sat samruddham swatas siddham. Shuddham buddhamanidrisham. Ekamevadvayam brahma. Neha nānāsti kinchana. Sat samruddham swatas siddham. Shuddham buddhamanidrisham. Ekamevadvayam brahma. Neha nānāsti kinchana. Veji, if the mind and speech cannot reach there, then how do we know it? Sat samruddham swatas siddham. Mind and speech doesn't have to reach there. Why? Swatas siddham. It is self-evident, self-existent. Sat, it is existence. Samruddham, it is full. It doesn't require mind and speech to describe it. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, when he shows his entire Vishwarupa to Arjuna in chapter 11, Arjuna is stunned. Why? He says, my mind can't even grasp what I am seeing. Forget about speech trying to explain. That is the next thing. My mind itself cannot understand what is happening in front of me. Why? It's mind-boggling, they say, no? Mind is not understanding what is happening. If something that is experienced by senses, mind is not able to understand. What to talk about Brahman, which is beyond senses, etc. How can mind grasp it? It cannot grasp it. It need not grasp it. Why? Swatas siddham. It is self-evident. We don't need mind and speech to prove existence or nature of this Brahman. Svatasiddham, Shuddham, pure. Pure means what? Nothing other than that exists there. Buddham, intelligent. Intelligent here means consciousness. Anidrisham, idrisham na. Idrisham means like this. Idrisham word in Sanskrit means like this. Anidrisham means na idrisham. Na idrisham means not like this. Not like this means not like anything that we have experienced so far. Not like anything. It cannot be compared with anything. It cannot be given example of anything. Nothing can come even close to that Brahman. That is Brahman. One without second. Ekameva advayam Brahma. Na iha nānāsti kinchana. And there is absolutely no duality. Not even a wee bit. Sat samruddham, svatasiddham. Look at the words that Shankaracharya is using. So powerful. It is sat, it is buddham, it is chit, it is anakalaniya, it is beyond mind, but it doesn't require mind. Svatasiddham, shuddham, it is pure. Anidrisham, it is nothing like what we have seen so far. See, we come to spirituality, we find rasa in spirituality and we say that it is nothing like we have gained anywhere. We go to lots of, vacations here, there, etc. We come to ashram and we say, this is nothing like anything that I have experienced before. If this itself is like this, what about that Brahman? That Brahman is nothing like anything that we have seen. Anidrisham. Right? Not like this. Not like anything that we have experienced so far. That Brahman alone is one without second. There is no duality. And that is me. I am that one without a second. So this is the main topic of Shruti. This Brahman, which is one without a second, which is non-dual, is the main topic of Shruti. Shruti does explain all other points. For what? To satisfy the questions, to resolve the doubts, so that seekers or students can come to this main topic of Brahman. We see in every single Upanishad, the main theme is Brahman only. All other topics are taken for context, according to the questions that are asked, but the main topic remains Brahman. That is what it is. Ekameva advayam Brahma, na iha nānāsti kinchana. Okay, these are the verses. Nothing much to explain, but a lot to reflect. Okay, word meaning I have just told. I have given some pointers. Now please reflect on it more. Any one word you catch and you start reflecting, you will reach the same Brahman. That is an interesting exercise. How we take different words and we reach the same thing. Okay, beautiful description. Let us stop here for today. We will continue with the remaining portion in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.